Shalom and greetings again. This is part 2 of the video that I made just a few minutes ago. I just wanted to add and so that I have an observation that I've made. And please excuse me because it is past my bedtime. I made an observation on the occurrence of a continuous aspect of the meaning of the word and the names. I won't mention any names, but I continuously run across what it means, which is absolute ruler. Okay? And as I was going through the names of mine in Hebrew, I also believe if I'm not mistaken, there was one that was one that meant ruler as well. In Hebrew, so you may want to look that up. Like I said, and in addition to that, what we have to realize is that Satan uses individuals in such a way to try to have them want to usurp authority. Just like when I was saying that who I was, and David and Aaron, and Jedediah with the wisdom of Solomon and things of this nature. That's haughtiness. And all of those things Yahuwah is against. Even to the point where in Yeshayahu, Isaiah 57, I think it is, where he says that I'm living with the basically this haughty one. He did something with his soul so that, let's read it so I don't have misquote it. And a lot of times when I've gone places, it seemed like this is where I was, and the way that I live my life is about pretty much how it sounds or is. I think it's back here. All right, let's see. Let's go to 15 first. This is Yeshayahu or Isaiah 57, starting at 14. It says, "And shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way, take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is set apart." Well, it says holy, but it's set apart. "I dwell in the high place, in the high and set apart place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. For I will not contend forever, neither will I always be wrath, for the spirit should fail before me, and the souls which I have made. For the iniquity of his covetousness was I wroth, and smote him. I hid me, and was wroth, and he went forward in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways, I will heal him, I will lead him also, and restore comforts unto him, and to his mourners. I create the fruit of the lips, peace, peace, to him that is far off. And to him that is near, saith Yahuwah, I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea, when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, I say, Yahuwah, for the wicked." Now, in regard to so that, like I was told years ago, there's some things that should be in there and some things that shouldn't. Not just in that particular book and chapter, but in the scriptures altogether. And please forgive me, I didn't bring any water in here. Maybe I could pause this for a second. Please forgive me, I have to get some water. Like I was saying, Satan is a manipulator, and we have to really be careful of the wiles of the enemy. I'm unable to fight him in my own strength because I'm not familiar with this territory of dealing with the situations that I have to deal with. And being in a hospital, I told you all before, I was going there for the sole purpose. At this point, again, I said, I want to go see Jesus. I was using that terminology, that title for Jesus as a Messiah for myself. And I think it was the second day I was there, I saw the pictures of Apollonius of Tyana, the one that we have for the picture of Zeus. And if you Google Solomon, you'll see a picture of him there. So, like I said, it's I was at a church service once, and the minister said that when Jesus went to the lower paradise, all right. So I guess I looked at him pretty strangely because I'm trying to figure out if the things that we are reading in the scriptures are so, why did he go into the lower paradise to do these things? So, because it said that he ascended right into heaven. Now, it is said of Apollonius of Tyana that he ascended into the innermost, the lower parts of the world or the earth. And when you look and consider the book of Revelation, how it says that those whose names were not written in the book of life were kind of confounded by it, and it was a shock. But yet, what I see though is a lot of people wearing those chains around the neck with that picture on it, and of course the pictures, all the walls, and so again, this is something that we all have to consider, because I don't want to be first of all confused with what's going on, because sometimes there are people in your like I say, your household or extended family that are guilty of association by either by commission or by omission, or whether they know it or not, or whether they don't know that they're doing these things. So we have to be prayerful about them and for ourselves, and like I said, continue to pray for these situations. And it also appears that not that I'm judging, but if we're to judge Malachi or angels, when you look at a believer in the kingdom of the reign of Yahuwah, there's a certain way that we're supposed to live. And when I see individuals, when I make one move here, and all of a sudden there's something else countering that, and it indicates that there's some movement going on from a spiritual standpoint. I'm trying to say something without saying it, because I don't want to set people out there like that, but I also want people to be cautious, like I say, in their own families, and in their own households even. So, because it's been said that people would give each other up and things of that nature, and what will we give in exchange for our souls? And it's I know it's a hard thing, and I pray that if I do or will face a situation like that I'm able to meet the challenge, and that's what we're called to do. And I've had some people working in here in my home, and one of them left a sticker behind on my dresser drawer where I keep my nightstand rather, my anointing oil, and there was a sticker there that said zeal, and it wasn't that my grandchildren didn't put it there, but just the same, it was there. And it's not that I have a problem with it, but the problem that I did have is that there was some judgment, so there had to be some demonic type of activity going on with the individual or individuals who are responsible collectively to get the approval to do something like that, because it has to still come from somewhere. Um, like I said, it appears that, like I said, the post that I just made prior to this, and the person that I met a few days back, these things don't add up, because it's as if what they're saying is that I've been thrust so because of what I've said, and then again, there's no, if I just leave everything there for a satanic activity, then it's it's for the purpose of non-trust is what I'm saying. If I leave it there, but by belief, by belief in everything that comes out of the word of Yahuwah, that is so, because we know that Satan is a liar and a manipulator, and he tries to keep us from our goal, which is to see and reach the kingdom, the reign of heaven. Now, you'll see a commercial and it'll say, "Ooh, baby, is a place, heaven is a place on earth." And if it is a place on earth at this juncture, and we're going through a lot of misery, and we're outside the gates, like I said, it's and then something's up. So, and also, like I said, and with the translator, I think his last name is Whistler, from Flavius Josephus, the one that did the translation. Another thing that he said was, in addition to getting punished when you sin while you're in this particular place, you also have to, those who have not blasphemed, have an ability to repent and then eat right. So again, that reminds me of the what do you call those? The Seventh-day Adventists. But we should eat right, because we're called to in the Levitical mandate. So there are things that we should eat and we shouldn't eat from a standpoint of health. And the fact that these things that are unclean, you figure I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm trying to get you all to understand why all of these things are so. You go off on a situation where you eat the hog and head off the hog, and it only has one stomach. Now the cow, on the other hand, and other clean animals have a couple of different things that make the process a little bit easier and more different to go through a process of purifying or digesting the food properly, so that the chances of getting bacteria in it are not as great. So that's something to put under your hat and wear it with you as you go to these restaurants and things like that. And we have to start asking if it's cooked with pork, as I indicated on I think not the post, but on the, I guess you still call it a post, but it was the written post about the fact that even though you'll get a beef hot dog or a Polish or something, thinking that you're doing the right thing, you still have to determine whether or not it's in a beef casing or something, because the enemy is trying to do everything to keep us from doing right. Because if we don't do that, then we're called hypocrites if we call hypocrites if we try to eat correctly and not eat off the hog, but yet eat off the hog unknowingly. So, and there are some things that would want to make you get back to the point, the main point that I was making on how Satan tries to get you to feel uplifted so that you would want to usurp the authority that the Son has, and it would also, because also it's said by Yahushua. He says also it was written in the Proverbs, I believe, said that when you go to a feast, don't sit at the head of the table. Solomon may have said it. I'm not sure. I know it's maybe in both or one or the other. Okay, yeah. But see, that's the type of thing that Satan wants you to do. The first time I was hospitalized, there was a guy up there by the name of John, and he had a lot of information on him that I asked for. But when we sat down, like I said, that satanic spirit in me wanted to go and sit at the head of the table. And I became angry because he was sitting at the head of the table. And it just made me understand that I need to start and stop doing these things and start paying more attention to the usurper and the deceiver and how he tries to manipulate people. So in essence, what I'm saying also is that with the post that I just made and the way I put it across, and the way that the people have the social media and things of that nature, and since it's utilized by the principalities of the air, they are capable of doing things in a way to, first of all, make you feel as if you have done something wrong. But the thing is that you have not lifted yourself up as much as the usurper has tried to put something there and made you see something or read something into something. And but the thing is to stay faithful and to continue the fight, the good fight, the fight of faith and belief, because he who overcomes, it is he who overcomes. And that because the race is not given to the swift or the strong. So, like I said, we just have to be overcomers, and then we'll be able to get the prize, which is the reign with the Father and the Son and the set apart Spirit, because that's all that we're really looking for. I mean, this thing about the streets paved with gold and things of that nature, that doesn't do anything for me, because Eden was very beautiful. And as I was saying, I don't think I made that point out as well as I should have when I was talking about Solomon and what really is being said there, because I want you all to really consider what I'm talking about. All right, so it starts at chapter 6. And as I stated before, this has nothing to do with the woman. The woman is that fake church, okay? And the person he's talking to is the Shulamite, but the Shulamite is the person indicating what in that book that I told you all about on a couple of sermons ago, where this guy Screwface or something like that, this demon is trying to teach his nephew how to ruin this guy to going to hell. It reminds me of a couple of things, but anyway. Um, let's see. It says, "Whither is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? Whither is thy beloved turned aside, that we may seek him with thee? My beloved is gone down into his garden, to the bed of spices, to feed in the garden, and to gather lilies." Let me stop there for a second. All right. Now, this garden, okay, if you could equate that to, as it was put, like I said before, lower paradise, okay? And what some would consider an Edenic sort of thing, or a place like how a very beautiful part of Africa used to be, or something like that. So when I was hospitalized, like I said, the woman would always say, "It's time for us to go down and eat." I wasn't able to grasp my mind around that, because everything was on the same level. So, and that reminds me of the fact that my sister and my wife came to see me once, and they said that it was as if they had gone upstairs. But this is why I want you all to understand, okay? It says, "My beloved has gone down into his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, and to gather lilies." Okay? Lilies, according to them, they called the Messiah Lily of the Valley. So if the valley is the garden, and the lilies are the people, and the people have been deceived, okay, I want you to follow this train of thought. And he's gone down to gather some and put them in this place of prison, all right, to be in darkness, so that they remain in darkness without the truth and the light and the life. Now, it's not that I want to be this which I did at one point say that I was the Messiah. From time to time, I won't lie, it still comes across my mind, especially since I found out that I have those names, Aharon or Aaron, David, Jedediah, beloved, which means beloved of Yahuwah, and also the other one is Ariel, like I said before, which is, or Aria, okay? Because the L we don't use, because we're supposed to drop that. I didn't say that in the last video because it slipped my mind. And I thank you, Father, for bringing that out, because it would no longer be Aria or Ariel. It would be Aria, okay? Just like that, or Ariyahu. But by being called by the name of a city, it would be Aria. Okay, so he wants to gather these lilies. Then he says, "I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine." He feeds among the lilies. So I haven't looked up before whether or not you can feed on the lilies, but if this is probably why I would fast a lot when I was there, because I didn't really feel comfortable, especially after being told we were going downstairs to eat, because there was a feasting. This is why also I have difficulty in understanding why people are stuck in that communion, when again it is said that it's taken from a consubstantiation and transubstantiation to the body. So well, it's taken from the actual use to the consubstantiation and the transubstantiation, which means that it is the actual blood and the body. So again, this would entail what that really signifies, because those who have been gathered, okay, he's going to feed on them because he gave them his body. Because that person is different than the one that we say that it is. You understand what I mean? Also, at one point, I have to give the other side of the coin too. When I was, I getting some medication, and this guy, a dark-skinned version of David, because this medication really knocked me out. I think I was out for a couple of days, and when I woke up, after having the conversation with, I think if I'm not mistaken, there was a Daniel there too. I can't remember. Anyway, he asked me, he said, "Who are you?" And it sounds like a strange question to me. And because from this conversation that I'd had and noticing what had occurred on my way there with the conversation, how they said that the sun was this way and that way and all this, and I started doubting whose I was and everything. And so I said, I'm Satan, you know. And after that, I think I got another type of pill and knocked me out for about another day or so. And somebody asked me again who I was, and I said I was the Messiah. So again, Satan plays mind games. And when I continue this, you're going to really see what I'm saying. Please bear with me. All right. Okay, when you get to verse 5, it says the fifth song. All right. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as an army with banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Your teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from washing, where one beareth twins, and there is not one barren among them. As a piece of a pomegranate, are the temples within the locks. There are 80 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. Let's see, where am I? She is the choice one of her and bear her. The daughters saw her and blessed her. Yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning fair, as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? Now watch this verse 11 especially. I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. Wherever was I aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Nadib. Return, Shulamite. Return, that we may look upon you. What will you see? What will we see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies, or two situations, two camps. How long will you war between two opinions? Halt between two opinions. So when he goes to, let's see, as a piece of pomegranate are thy temples within thy flocks. And then we look at, let's look at 4 and 5 first. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, let's see. That means truly beautiful. Tirzah means truly beautiful and comely as Jerusalem. Terrible as an army with banners. So when you consider that there's I forget which one is that means banner with those things, Jehovah banner, but we know that there's the seed that one the two kingdoms were warring in the womb, and what this individual is doing. This is why these people are also doing these goat hands. When we go to verse 5, it says, "Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear before Gilead." So when I consider that Daniel wrote about the individual with the men who had the hair of wool, all right. So this is this guy, the scapegoat. He says, "Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as flock of goats that appear from Gilead." That's the balm in Gilead. And what is the balm in Gilead? The healing in Gilead. All right. So if the healing is the balm or the healer in Gilead, and we've been told that his hair is like a flock of goats that appear from Gilead, because that's the place of healing. Gilead was that's where they got those ointments and things like that. Then verse 6, "Your teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from the washing." The teeth, "whereof every one beareth twins, and there is not one barren among them." Now this would be that thing against the war, one brother against another. So we have to this is like why this about the teeth? We should at one point come back to that and look at it, because it says about the teeth. We can go there for 1 second. About being white with the washing. 4:1. "Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as flocks of goats that appear from Mount Gilead." So again, this goat thing has to do with the fact that people are worshiping the goat. The scapegoat was for the purpose of Israel putting their hands, the high priest putting his hand upon the scapegoat that at that point, and then letting that goat go free into the wilderness to become basically this the goats. What I'm trying to say is that the goats, their realm was the wilderness as wild beast. Okay, and when you consider that word beast, okay, and the fact that there is a I think the term is called satyr, and that is a goat, half man. All right. So when you consider that, they're saying to you here, because they're writing is that so that we can understand it in such a way so that the Malachi are able to, and the spirit of Yahuwah are able to come and let us understand this, okay? And we understand why, even why I said what I said earlier, because it's for the purpose of coming back and bringing back what I didn't bring out fully before. And if there was a spirit of usurping, there may be a better way of putting it, then again, may Yahuwah forgive me, because it says he was white and ready, okay? But we said that according to what's written, it is that it's just if I what am I trying to say here? I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. All right, it said that he's white and ready, but in the book of Daniel, all right, and in the book of Revelation, it says that he has eyes of fire and hair of wool. All right. All right, let's go back to 5 again. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Let's see, it doesn't give like a cross reference or anything. And this doesn't even go to the, if you know how some scriptures give you the explanation notes on there, it doesn't even cover that. But we'll go back to 4:1 again, because I want to read that again. It says, behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead. Now, we're going to have to spend some time with that at some juncture, Yahuwah willing. But between the Mashiach and what's written here about this guy Solomon, and what these people are trying to make me, which is they're trying to make me the false prophet, and they're trying to make me the one who says the wrong things. But I'm here to bring out these things for the benefit of our souls, not just mine. Okay, let me go back to where we were, where he says this. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. Okay, again, that's the false church. She is the only one of her mother. So again, if this is so, and the mother church is the church of Babylon, all right? So, thank you, Father. And Babylon has been a continuation for all of these millennia, all right? And we know that now the church of Babylon is, especially Rome. But in addition to that, excuse me, the church of Babylon is many more churches that have joined in with that and fail or refuse to come out of Babylon. All right, let's see. Because we can glean this because of what is said here. Let's see. As a piece of pomegranate, that's 7, are thy temples within thy locks. There are 60 queens, which means 60, and 80 concubines. Okay, so there's 60 and 4, that's 100. And virgins without number. Then it says, the daughters saw her and blessed her, yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Now, let's see, was it farther up or back there? It said that she was the only one of her mother, right? But it said that the daughters, those, like I said, those are the other churches of Babylon. But it says that the daughter saw her and blessed her. That's because she's Mother Earth, okay? Ashtoreth, which is Esther or Easter, okay? Yea, the queens and her concubines, and they praise her. So what are these? The queens of various religions and nations and all of these that refuse to worship the true Messiah. And right there, a blasphemous thought, just crazy thought just went through my head, and may Yahuwah forgive me in Yahushua's name. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning fair, as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? I went down into the garden of nuts. He means that. Okay? I went down to the garden of nuts to see the fruits. Okay? Fruit cakes, nuts, and fruits, fruit cakes. Because of the deception of Babylon. All right? And the thing is that he went to see whether the vine would flourish and if the pomegranates budded. Wherever was I aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Amin Nadib. Return, return, O Shulamite, return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will we see in the Shulamite? As it were, the company of two armies. And when you look that up, it says, set me on the chariots of my willing people. No, that's 13. Let's see. It says, Mahanaim. And that's found in Genesis 32. Or Bereshit 32. What was it? 2. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Jacob prepares to meet Esau in 32. We go to 1 first. And Jacob went on his way, and the Malach of Yahuwah met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is Yahuwah's host." And he called the name of that place Menahem. So now we'll look that up. We'll look up Menahem, because the name of that place of two armies. So the name of that place, as it were, the company of Menahem, place of, we said that there was where he called the place of Menahem. This is the host. This is Yahuwah's host, and he called the name of the place Menahem. Right, and the number is, I can't see it, 4266. I should have brought my Strongs in here, but 4266, we will find it. Yahuwah willing, very quickly, and not keep you too much longer. But we have to have an understanding about these things. We must have an understanding about these things, because just put it out there. Not that anyone in my family may know what they're doing or anything like that, but just as soon as I hit the publish button, something popped up, and there's when I go to a place, I'll meet a guy by the name of Eric, and when I started going through the first episode that I had, a spirit, not a good spirit, a spirit by the name of Eric, I found, was sent down to be a thorn in my flesh. So, like I said, continue to pray for me with those things. But it's for a purpose that Yahuwah puts us through things so that when we come out, we can give a testimony about how we went through and why we went through it. So this again is 4266. Oh, I can't find it there. I need to go to the back because some of them you can find in that part of some you can't. So 4266. And as I told you all before, this thing that we go through is like a continuation. If you are doing something and one person by this name will be a part of that, and then you go somewhere else, then there's a person with the other name. But it's not so much that those names are so common as it is that there's a transference of the type of thing that is going on. So, and also I didn't tell you all this, that when I had said that I was I blasphemed and I was set in this place. Now the purpose of it also is, what I read also is that the reason that I keep seeing these people in black, and when I go somewhere there are guards that guard me and things like that, is because I've been designated as an individual set for, like I said, the slaughter, and for blaspheming. But when you consider that I did not blaspheme the real and true Messiah, and perhaps I'm not making an excuse for anything. We shouldn't blaspheme, but we don't want to be giving. We definitely don't want to be giving praise and worship to the enemy, though. That's a given right there, though. All right, now when you look at the word, okay, it's Meshanayim, and it means a double camp. Meshanayim, a place. So with when I posted a few minutes ago, and what the people what they posted yesterday, is that the decision that I made within my mind, or that the powers that be have made, is that I'm on the camp of the enemy, and that this individual by the name of Jason, the Ason, will continue to rule the immortality and eternity. So just like the name Eric that I just spoke to you about, I met a guy. Somebody did some work at my house, and his name was Derek. So I decided to look that up. What I found out is that meant ruler over people. So does Nicholas, and that I told you all about Nicholas and the Nicolaitans. And additionally, there's somebody in my family with the name that means ruler over people. I went into a story a few days ago to get something, and I met a guy, and I was talking to him. He asked my name. I gave him my name, and vice versa. He told me his, and that was ruler of people. So I kept running into these things. And prior to my really conversing with him, there came out of you know how some stores have those little tables set up for displays, so they can get you to get a service or something. Anyway, a guy in all black walked by, and they had all of the Halloween stuff up and everything. So it wasn't really a place that I wanted to be in at that particular time. But I had to go ahead and get in there, and I'm trying to overcome these things, and not let them be fears for me so much as but like I said, it's a continuation of this, enigma of a ruler over people. And the way that it is that this demon would have me to want to be a ruler over people, because it's mentioned in here also the guy that I told you all about at that place that it was set up between he and the manager in the store after the guy blew the horn a few times. What I understand is that the things that occur are for the purpose of his thing was that there was he was a fallen angel and trying to get back to heaven and things like that. And the thing was he mentioned something about David and and then by the Raphael, this guy Raphael, he was mentioned, like I said earlier in the earlier video. So that made me internally, with this satanic influence, this satanic spirit, lift up, okay? And as being lifted up, then what was determined is that since it's also written about David, that he will be the ruler of Yahuwah's kingdom, that was a lifter up, also a haughtiness. Satan wants us to be haughty. He wants us to want things that don't belong to us, but belong to the Father. You understand what I mean? Now, I do see some things that the Messiah said that in the book of Revelation don't make any sense. Because why would these people, again, I'm not knocking anything, but what I'm trying to say here is that if these, we know that these are demons on this earth, on this place, and that people are being influenced to do things, and help me, Father. Let me see, I think it's 10. Let's see, 10. I thought it was 10. Anyway, what I'll just tell you about it during the interim, and you can find it when you get an opportunity. It is where Yahushua is saying that he was healing, and he started healing the weak and feeble in the body, and there was a different type of healing in the body that others were receiving. And when you look that up, knowing that demons were possessing individuals, he healed these people of their homosexuality. All right. So if outside are dogs and those homosexuals, and he has the power to give his Haruk HaKodesh when he comes and with those healings in his wings. How can he not heal them that way and forgive them? So again, I wish I could find it. I'm trying. Let me pause this. That's what I'll do. Thank you for waiting. Sorry, I had to pause it there. I had to look. It was actually it's Matthew 10. It's also in Mark 3:13 through 19, 6 through 7 through 18, 13, Luke 6:12 through 16, 9 1 through 6. But I'll read the first verse. This is Matthew 10:1. And when he had called unto him his 12 taught ones, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out, and to heal all manner of disease and sickness, and to heal all manner of disease. Now, let's see. When we look at where is it? There's a different type of healing of a disease, or there's a different disease than the normal one. Let's find this. Let's see. Three one 1:4. I kind of covered it up with my writing. 3119, 3119. Okay. There will be 3119 is Malakia. It's from Malakos, 3120. We'll look that one up also. It means soft, which is a form of balasso, to soften, in indisposition, infirmity. Literally, softness, referring to men, meaning delicacy, effeminacy. In Aristotelian, weakness. So again, the very effeminate individuals, Yahusha was healing. And it appears that the usurper is trying to say that outside are these things, and he keeps these people outside because of the wrong name in the belief. This is why in Song of Solomon, he said that he went down to see the fruits and the nuts, okay? And part of being the nut is not only is it because from what I've told you in the past about the fact that the individual that I saw, thinking it was Jesus, he told me that he attended Wheaton College. And as I was reading a little bit of one of the books that I have, he gave a history on the first, where I looked it up, I can't remember, on Google, the first African-American graduate from Wheaton College. But the thing of the matter was that he, in fact, was white. And he got 2 degrees there, all the time, registering each time as black. But when he went to the east, what happened was that he did something. And he became got in some sort of office in a religious school. And the next thing you know, he winded up in the hospital as in a nut ward. That's what Solomon's calling it. He winded up in the ward. I'll read a little bit of that to you in a little bit, but that's why this guy is calling him. He's calling it the nuts. And then after that, the guy that graduated from Wheaton all of a sudden turned black when he died. So before he died, and then we have to consider that the enemy, and we also have to consider Baal, same thing, and then the other name of Nimrod. Okay, so like I said, it's a lot to understand, but it's a lot that we have to understand. Let's go back to I hope you all get that about the effeminate. Let me go to Revelation for a second and read a little bit of that before I let me stop for a second to get us a water, please.